Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another UFC fight prediction video. In this video, we'll be predicting the full card of fights for UFC Fight Night, Holloway versus Zombie, or you could say UFC Singapore. But before we get into this week's predictions, we're going to recap UFC 292, Sterling versus O'Malley for a little bit. So we went 9-3 for the card. That's pretty exceptional, pretty good. 9-3 for the card. The free parlay or the public parlay, hit. It was Zhang, it was Gary, and it was Natalia Silva that hit. So pretty good night. And also the both the public and the private bets went pretty good. So if you guys can get in on that, $20 a month on Discord. I could drop the link in the comment section below. You could follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and I can send you the link either way. So that's another way you could hit me up and get that information. But yeah, as far as again, talk about UFC 292. Yeah, it was a solid card. And also give O'Malley his props. The stylistic matchup wasn't the best for him, but he made it work for him. He was able to stay calm despite having the injured rib, despite being the dog, like a 2-1 dog. He did what to do. He was able to pull out the reactions of Sterling, stay calm enough that he could eventually draw and use his footwork, draw that reaction, and then make him pay for reaching and got him out of soul. A well-deserved title victory for him. And I don't know about all these people saying he didn't deserve it or not that. I might not have picked him, but I definitely was not sleeping on him. And as far as him being a champion now, people still making jokes about him, saying this about him. The guy's been a real legit fighter for a long time. So this win is not no fluke. It ain't nothing like that. So give the man his prop and give him respect. Solid win for O'Malley. And I'm interested to see what he does in the future. So now I'm going to hit it all up. I'm going to hand it over to Nicky back so he can give his recap of UFC 292. He actually was there. Now I let him say that for himself.
Oh, yeah, bro. It was lit. It was lit. Yo, when O'Malley knocked him out and got him on the ground and was beating his head in with his hammer fist, the crowd was screaming. I was screaming. I bet on Sterling and I was screaming. I was like, oh my God, he did it. He did it. But yeah, man, it was lit. Everybody on that card, I almost got to meet everybody. I met Telly Santos, I met Weili Zhang, I met everybody. I have a video with Cheeto smoking a joint, which is, we're over 18, we're over 21, living in Boston, so it's legal. So nobody could say much about that. Plus, Nate Diaz does it all the time. Man, I was hyped. I didn't get to meet Ian Gary either, but it was the best time I could have asked for. The only problem I had was the Damon Blackshear one. I met Mario Batista, so I won't sit here and say that dude didn't win because I like that dude and I'm not going to disrespect him and say he didn't win. But I had money on Damon Blackshear and I think we had a lock on that. We would have been 10-3, which is, we're hitting over 80% in our last 5 fights. So, we're doing pretty good. And the fact that you got the parlay, and it was a free parlay, nobody had to pay for it. All they had to do was tap into the channel and they were able to listen and get that bet. And Weili Zhang Silva, I would have said Kareem Silva, but I wanted to leave the parlay up to the king because he knows what he's talking about. But yeah, I met Marlon Chito Veras. Like I said, I smoked a joint with him. Is he next for the title shot, you think?
I think so. Because Rob probably ain't gonna take it. So all his next is probably Cheeto or Sterling, but they're probably gonna get that Cheeto fight next and have Sterling sit on the sideline and decide what he gonna do with his career.
Facts. I think I saw Marab too. Marab leg kicked the guy like 20%. His leg was like black and blue. It was hilarious. What do you think about Weili Zhang next fight? Is it Rose?
Now Rose is not even in this weight class right now. She's about to fight at like 25 right now. So
yeah,
she's not likely
be a better weight for her.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but yeah, she's not gonna be in this one. So I think the next fight for Weili Zhang might be Tatiana Suarez because Weili Zhang says she wants that fight, so that might likely be the next fight. But it's hard to see Weili Zhang losing anytime soon, especially with her grappling getting as good as it's getting right now, and already having the striking and the cardio and all other factors in her game. But now we're going.
What do you think's next for Sterling?
Sterling, I mean, I feel the best thing he could do right now instead of trying to fight contenders, he could try his best to wait for the title shot, even if he has to wait behind someone else. That's probably the best thing for him to do. Going to 45 would be pointless right now. He'll have little reward, a lot of risk because Volk said he's not going to fight him now because he lost. So right. He has little reward, a lot of risk. So going to 45 would be dumb. Sticking at 35 would be the same thing. As far as fighting anyone outside of O'Malley for a rematch. So the best thing you can do is wait. If you can't get that fight, then maybe do some other things and wait for some other people. Maybe try to I don't get a Dominic Cruz or something like that, or get some other legend that's like older and over the hill kind of, and just get that a win to stay busy. But that wait for O'Malley or get an over the hill legend and just get back on the winning side. In the
Speaking of
meanwhile,
yeah, speaking of O'Malley, what do you think about him challenging Ryan Garcia and Tank Davis?
I don't think it's a smart move for him to be honest, but
You don't think that he has a chance against them?
no, not in boxing.
It's like Connor probably, right?
Probably worse because those guys will actually look to knock him out. Mayweather can carry you for a bit, but these guys will physically hurt him. I don't think Ryan Garcia has the talent and the skill to be able to carry O'Malley, so he'll have to hurt him and put him away. And Tank definitely, he's not a guy that's gonna play sparring, which is gonna hurt you.
Right. Yeah. And I just want to say most of my picks are over 1.5, and the reason that I do that is the stats and the average fight time. If the fighter's average fight time is over 7.5 minutes, and they both have that, it's pretty solid that you can cash in on that. It's not every time that like there's a couple fights where I went one over like Sean O'Malley, but I give the over 1.5 because that's the easiest fight statistic to try to predict. Is the person going to knock the person out, like Gregory Rodriguez inside the distance we picked last week? You know what I mean? And that happened. So I just want to. I am the prop king, I guess, but I'll let the king get this card started.
All right, so now to the prediction side of things. We're back to now we're on UFC Fight Night, Holloway versus Korean Zombie, or UFC Singapore. So first fight of the night, we got in the featherweight division, we got Sung Woo Choi versus Jarno Aarons. And how I feel about this one right here is I'm going Jarno Aarons, low confidence. I feel like it's really on Sung Woo Choi to be honest. I feel like Jarno Aarons is a high enough level of a fighter to take advantage of where Sung Woo Choi is at this point in his career and really becoming predictable and riding a 3-fight skid. I think Jarno Aarons will be able to exploit the fact that Sung Woo Choi is so one-track minded and will be able to land counters on him and really be able to mix it up on him and beat him in the decision victory here. So yeah, Sung Woo Choi getting too predictable. Jarno Aarons is solid enough, but he's still improving fully himself. But he's solid enough. That's why the confidence is low. But he's solid enough. That's why I'm leaning to him to beat Sung Woo Choi because he can exploit the predictability and lack of confidence Sung Woo Choi is pretty much having riding into this fight. So in this one, I got Jarno Aarons via decision. Not over to Nikki Betts.
Yeah, Choi Sung Woo. Yeah, he lost his last three. I think he's got to be dialed in for this one because if he loses a fourth, that's usually a cut. You know what I mean? If you lose four in a row, I think he has to win this one. I think this one goes over 1.5. I think that that Wu has a chance to beat Aaron's. I think Aaron's has a better chance to beat Wu, but I think Wu can pull off an upset. I think Aaron's can pull off an upset. It's too wishy-washy for me. I think he squeaks it out, but I'm low confidence. Choi Jarno medium confidence, and over 1.5 I have a pretty high confidence in. So that's my prediction. I think that Choi might win. I think most likely Jarno wins, but I think a high confidence is over 1.5 for a pick if you're gonna bet it.
So who are you leaning to more? So you more so leaning to Choi or you leaning to Jarno Aarons? If you had to pick one, who are you picking?
If I was to pick one, I would pick Choi.
Choi? All right.
Yeah.
All right, now to our next one. We have in the women's flyweight division, we got Na Liang versus JJ Aldrich. And this is one of those picks where I just don't like the odds at all. I like JJ Aldrich to win, low confidence, but the odds are like ridiculous. Like acting like JJ Aldrich is just come through fighter, like she's Jordan in the paint or whatnot in clutch time or John Stockton. No, like she's like some star in the clutch. She's not that clutch fighter, so she should not have this odds that she has. Because Na Liang, I do have a fear that she can land that weird awkward strike, hurt JJ Aldrich, and then tap her out or maybe get a TKO or some awkward TKO, awkward submission victory. But other than that, barring the awkward and the crazy or, just the fluky type stuff, I got to go JJ Aldrich. She's clearly the better overall fighter in every facet of the game. And I think she's going to be able to blanket Na Liang a little bit so she won't just, maybe wall install her a little bit when necessary, maybe go for a couple takedowns when necessary, but not really play on the ground too much with Na Liang, but just enough to stop her from just throwing a bunch of sloppy offense on her and the risk of getting caught with something crazy. But yeah, JJ Aldrich is the better overall fighter. And she's experienced. She is solid enough. I think she can corral the crazy of Na Liang and beat her to a clean decision here. So in this one, I have JJ Aldrich via decision. Now over to Nikki Betts.
Yeah, I agree. Aldridge has the advantage in almost every area. She's an all-around good fighter. like you said, the craziness of Na Liang, you have to tame it. She's gonna have to go in there and slow her down and get her to, fight at JJ Aldridge's pace. And I think JJ Aldridge is a good enough fighter to where she can do that. I think that it's not worth the money. I've lost. This is just a disclaimer. I don't bet on women's MMA because I lost with Nunes and I lost with Shevchenko. So it gives me, uh, you know, a great sadness that I can't put faith in female fighters because it's just so like Lemos could have came out there and dominated, but Wei Lee was just ready for her. So I'm leaning towards Aldridge. She wins. Um, I have a medium confidence that this fight goes over 1.5. I think JJ Aldridge is going to use her ground game, and I think that Na Liang is going to get um, slowed down and put in a position where she's a great finisher, but she's not finishing JJ Aldridge. That's just not going to happen. I don't see that happening at all. Hopefully, I can get her autograph too one day, but in this fight, I go with JJ Aldridge.
All right, good. All right. Now on to our next fight we have in the welterweight division. We got Yusaku Kinoshita versus Billy Golf. And how I feel about this one right here is I'm going average confidence Billy Golf to beat Yusaku Kinoshita. I feel like Billy Golf can replicate the similar path to victory, is how Yusaku Kinoshita was beat in his last fight. And also kind of replicates it similarly. His last fight, both their fights replicate like Billy Golf won, Yusaku Kinoshita lost. But Yusaku Kinoshita is gonna come out, he comes out steam, he comes out aggressive, he looks to put you in the back. But I think Billy Golf can beat him in the middle, but not look to trade and make it a firefight too much. But just enough to gain his respect, get him to overshoot with his shots. They look to drag him down, wear on him, and break him down over the course of the fight. That might lead to like a couple of takedown attempts, make Kinoshita have something to worry about. Then maybe from there start to work his own striking on the fatigue and multitasking Kinoshita because he's worried about the takedown as well as the striking. Then eventually go back to the grappling, wear him down over the course of the fight, and then finish him in the second round. But yeah, Kinoshita is definitely the better fighter. But I think if Billy Golf can mix it up and keep that pressure on him, make him work and drag him into the next round, I think he should win this one, and I think he will win this one. And I think he submits him in the second round. So in this one, I have Billy Golf via second round submission. Not over to Nicky Betts.
Yeah, Billy Golf, man, he's won his five out of his last 5 fights, which is not an easy feat. And his opponent has won 3 out of his last 5. So Kinoshita is a beast. There's no discussion about whether that's the case or not. I think this is a close Billy Golf win, but I think it's going to be a war. But Usaka, Usaka or Kinoshita, as his last name is, can win if he can overpower him with cardio. If he can out cardio Billy Golf, I think he wins this, but I don't see that happen. Billy Golf's on a run. He's doing his thing. He's a solid fighter, so is Kinoshita. But I see this fight again going over 1.5. My official pick is Golf because he's on the 5-fight winning streak. But I think a safe bet would be either over, no, not one over 1.5. I see this as not going the distance. What did you say you saw this going the distance?
No, like second round TKO, second round submission for
So yeah,
Golf.
that's what I was saying. Sorry, I apologize. I do so many over 1.5 guys. It's insane. But yeah, if I do this fight doesn't go to decision, and I have a low confidence in over 1.5. So I got Billy Golf in this one, and I think fight doesn't go to decision is a pretty safe bet for the card.
All right, that's all. Now to our next one, we have in the welterweight division, we got Keenan Song versus Rolando Bedoya. And how I feel about this one right here is I'm going high confidence Rolando Bedoya to beat Keenan Song. And this is actually a fight I had my eye on, at least a matchup I had my eye on for a couple weeks now. And now really zeroing in on it. I don't know why I say zeroing in so long like that. I guess it's just one of the random words and combinations you struggle with. But anyway, yeah, I think he beats Keenan Song. Keenan Song's riding a couple really brutal losses. Like he got a good moment against Ian Gary in the first round, but beyond that, he got brutalized. And then he got knocked out by Max Griffin. I think he had another brutal loss prior to that as well. So he's running a lot of damage. And he's coming here with a solid prospect in Rolando Bedoya, who I think is the better striker, the better technician, the better overall fighter here. Keenan Song does have that experience, but he doesn't really have much experience actually beating decent competition or decent prospects. He's beating some guys in the UFC that were here today, gone tomorrow, like maybe 1 win, 1-1, 1-3 out of the UFC. But other than that, anybody with any bit of perspective have beaten him pretty well. And I think Rolando Bedoya will just be another one to add to that roster. And I think Bedoya is going to be able to just work him behind the jab, pick him apart, and just add to the damage that he's already piled up upon him in his career, and put him away in the second round. So in this one, I have Rolando Bedoya via second round TKO. Now over to Nikki Betts.
Yeah, I think Keenan Song is a good fighter. I'm sad that he's lost to I like Chinese champions. I think that their government, pushes them to and gives them incentive and good for them. They do that with Americans, and so I appreciate the fact that he's a Chinese warrior. But Rolando Bedoya has proven himself in his last fight that he can hang in there with the best, and he really impressed me. So I have complete faith in him. The problem is Keenan Song has knockout power, which is a question mark for this fight. So I think if Rolando Bedoya gets by Keenan Song, I think in the future you'll be able to be like, all right, I know I can trust Rolando Bedoya. I know he's game. If he were to lose, then I would say Keenan Song, has a chance to turn his 2 losses into 10 wins. You know what I mean? But I just don't see that happening. I see Rolando doing what he did in his last fight, which was performing and being on point and showing up to fight and all of that. So, yeah, I've high confidence with Rolando Bedoya. I don't really have a prop for this one. Uh, it, Rolando Bedoya is tough. Keenan Song's tough. Fight doesn't go to decision. That could be a prop, but I wouldn't bet my life savings on it. So yeah, for this one, I got Rolando Bedoya inside the distance.
All right, I like that one. All right, now to our next one. We have in the middleweight division, we got Chidi Njokuani versus Mikhail Oleksiejczuk. And half of us right here is I'm going low confidence Mikhail Oleksiejczuk. This is not the perfect stylistic matchup for, I guess, Mikhail Oleksiejczuk. Kind of a good matchup for Chidi Njokuani, technically, I guess. But he's kind of getting up there in age, not crazy up there in age, but it's enough to kind of, think about a little bit. But where I think Mikhail Oleksiejczuk really wins this one is I think he'll win it with volume and work. I think Njokuani is overall the more technical striker, but I think Oleksiejczuk is more aggressive. I think he's tough and he's skilled enough and game enough to stick in his fight and really just push the pace on Njokuani, put him on the back foot, and take advantage of the slow start that Njokuani typically has. And, start him early behind and maintain that through 3 rounds. But nonetheless, a competitive fight. Njokuani probably having no short shots in between, short shots and sequences in the fight. But the more consistent pattern of this fight will be Mikhail Oleksiejczuk, whether the shots are really landing flush or on the arm or the body or wherever they're landing, he'll be aggressive. He'll throw a lot of power. He'll throw a lot of volume, a lot of combinations, and that will be more appealing to the judges. And again, he'll be piling more points than Njokuani, who's looking for the clean shots, the sharper shots. But it won't be sharp enough that it will be like flush enough that it will put him out or nothing like that. It'll be clean shots, but it won't be able to overshadow the work rate and pressure of Mikhail Oleksiejczuk. So in this one, I have Mikhail Oleksiejczuk via decision. Now to Nikki Betts.
Yeah, man, I love Chidi Njokuani. Bang bang, bang bang. Love the name, bro. I just love it. I'm just throwing it out there. Like, I want the guy to win. I like the guy. I like his style. I like his confidence. He comes from a humble beginning. He's got a good story. I really respect the guy. But this feels like it's going to be a war of modern day gladiators between these two, because it's going to be Oleksiejczuk trying to impose his will upon Chidi, and Chidi's going to try to bang bang inside the pocket, outside the pocket, leg kicks, all of that. So I got Oleksiejczuk winning this one as well. Unfortunately, I was really hoping Njokuani wins. You know what? This isn't going to be a bet, but I'm going Chidi Njokuani. You're probably right with the Oleksiejczuk. I would bet that. But over 1.5 sounds good because, like you said, he does start slow. On paper, Chidi should win because his stats are through the roof, but it's just the momentum of a fighter sometimes. Like when I came across the fighters, for each one of them, they all had a different personality. Some ignored you, some like made their security get in front of you. So they're all, and this was before the fight, so I had to be empathetic and be like, these dudes are about to go in there for some more. Like, I shouldn't even be in their face right now. And so it's all about momentum. And like Marlon Vera, he was supposed to win, he won. You know what I mean? That's how it works. And Sean O'Malley wasn't supposed to win, and he did. And that's the universe correcting whatever it's you should everybody thought he was gonna get taken down and rolled up. So I'm gonna going off on a tangent about this weekend, but this fight is eerily similar to how I feel about the main card, because Oleg has the momentum, Chitty has the experience, and we'll see on Saturday who wins. I'll go Chitty and Zuccoini. I'll go over 1.5. I think the
All right.
fight.
I like the fact that you stick upon Njokuani, so that's
Yeah.
good. Now to our next one, we have in the bantamweight division, we got Toshiomi Kazama versus Garrett Armfield. And how I feel about this one right here is I'm going low confidence Garrett Armfield to beat Toshiomi Kazama. So far I'm not really super impressed by Toshiomi Kazama. I just feel like he primarily just grapples. I feel like Garrett Armfield is the more well-rounded fighter. But also it's not like Garrett Armfield has really shown. He's fought some guys. He fought David Onama pretty decently, but he lost. And I can't really just say, oh, he fought this guy good, he fought that guy good. What did you actually win? Who did you actually beat? Now who did you do well against? And you did get finished, so it's not really a whole lot to go off Garrett Armfield as well. But I do think based on what I've seen, I feel like he's the better overall fighter, whereas like Kazama is primarily just a grappler and Armfield could do everything. So I'm leaning Garrett Armfield to win the decision. I think it'll be a close fight, a lot of scramble, a lot of grappling, but I think Armfield being the more well-rounded fighter and the more tested fighter, to be honest, for much higher level competition in the amateurs and in pros between the two. And that experience is going to be crucial and invaluable. And that will allow Armfield to get his hand raised in a decision victory over Toshiomi Kazama. So in this one, I have Garrett Armfield via decision. Now to Nikki Betts.
Um, Toshiomi Kazama, man, he moves quick. He's better on the ground, which I could see being a problem for Garrett. I do see Garrett being like Sean O'Malley in the sense that I'm doing a lot of relation to the card. This man, it was so much fun. I had such a blast. You guys, if you guys ever want to go somewhere, go to a UFC event, get to one. You'll life changing. But yeah, I see Garrett trying to outskill Kazama because Kazama is better in a lot of areas, but I see Garrett stuffing takedowns. I see him moving quickly, but I think Kazama could pull out the win. I have very low confidence in that. I have a medium confidence in that. I have a low confidence Garrett. So if you with DraftKings, you can pick Garrett to win and Toshi Kazama to win with other parlays. You just mix them up and you do two parlays and you with people you think's gonna win, and you just put Garrett in one and Toshi in the other. That's sometimes how it works. You know what I mean? It's a pick 'em, I think, for this fight. But I do think Garrett's the better fighter, but I think that and has the better skill. But I think Kazama has again the momentum. He's riding on some sort of jet plane to wherever he's going to the top. And I think this fight will be crucial for him because if he proves me wrong, I think that, he won't be what everybody thinks he's supposed to be. There's a lot of hype around him. The average fight time is over 7.5. So I think for both fighters, I think over 1.5 is your safest bet. But you could go a mixture of Toshi Kazama and Garrett and in a parlay like the parlay he gave last week. You could just bet on one and then bet on the other, and you put down $100, you win 500, whatever, whatever amount. But I think Garrett's a good pick, but I want to see Kazama and I want to see if he can do what everybody's saying he can do. So that's my official pick.
All right, so you're going Kazama.
Yes, sir.
I like that. So now to our next one, we got in the heavyweight division, we got Waldo Cortez Acosta versus Lucas Brzeski. And how I feel about this one right here is I'm going average confidence on Waldo Cortez Acosta. Yet another value I don't agree with, but I will actually lean to the person with the crazy odds. But in this one, and as I looked at tape more, I understood why. Well, I understood why he's favored, but I'm not understanding why he's that favored. Because no matter what tape you can find on him, whether you go to the amateur, you see what he's doing in sparring or whatnot, nothing warrants where his value is currently at. But I do think he should win. I'm going second round TKO for Walter Cortez Acosta. I feel like Lucas Brzeski doesn't really have, like, he could throw 100 strikes, but I feel like as far as actual significant strikes, like with actual power behind him, I feel like he got about 3 minutes to a round of that. And beyond that, it's just a bunch of arm punching and just throwing, low hands, high chin, and arm punches. And I feel like Walter Cortez Acosta could be able to take advantage of that, extend beyond the first round. Everybody starts setting him up for the power shots in the second round. When his arms start to drop, his defense starts to, become non-existent and be able to finish him, I think, late in that second round. So in this one, I had Waldo Cortez Acosta via second round TKO. Not over to Nikki Betts.
Yeah, man, I agree. Waldo Costa's a beast. I think Luca's a beast too. I have a medium confidence in Waldo. I have low confidence in Luca, but I think there's areas where Waldo Acosta could improve, and if he's improved in those areas in between now and his last fight, I see a medium confidence in him. I think we're going to learn a lot about him on Saturday night, as we do every week. This is a forever uh, editing mindset. You can't ever say, "Oh, well, Waldo beat Acosta, beat him, and then he lost to John Jones, and then he won against Francis Ngannou and then got beat by Cyril Gahn." You know what I mean? Like there's so much going on between the heavyweight division that I think that this is going to be a proving ground for one of these two fighters. They both so Waldo's average fight time is 12 minutes and 10 seconds. Luca's is 14 minutes and 37 seconds. So over 1.5, I think, is pretty safe if that's their average fight time. I think Waldo wins this one, medium confidence. But I could see Luca doing leg kicks and getting him out of there by chopping at his legs and beating him down. But he's 9-1, Luca's 8-3. He's only one fight off from him, and he's only lost one fight. So you got to go for the guy whose momentum is riding, and Waldo's is that guy.
All right, go with Waldo. So now
Yeah.
to our next one, we got in the heavyweight division as well. We got Junior Tafa versus Parker Porter, not Peter Parker. We got Parker Porter. But
Spider-Man.
Tafa goes right here. I'm going low confidence. Junior Tafa to beat Parker Porter here. I think there's not really a whole lot of confidence to be had on Junior Tafa, to be honest. I'm leaning him, but not a whole lot of confidence at all. It just seems like Parker Porter, heavyweight been got longer years or more longevity. He's 38, he's getting up there in age, but yeah, they got more longevity and all that. But yeah. It's also like Park Porter been that iron chin dude, that real reliable guy. I just feel like he's kind of awaiting, he's pending a brutal knockout loss coming up very soon. Whether it be this fight or the next fight, I feel like he has a brutal loss coming very soon. And I'm gonna lean to this fight. Not a whole lot of confidence, low confidence here. I think you're talking on take that last loss he had to Muhammad Usman and
Right.
probably try to work on his takedown offense a little bit more. And also he's gonna be expecting the grappling more in this one. He probably wasn't expecting the takedowns from Muhammad Usman because Usman hadn't really shown takedowns till this point. So he
But
probably
his
wasn't expecting
brother
that.
is just I would say his brother is the best wrestler in welterweight history. Would you agree?
I probably wouldn't agree. But he
Who
is
do
one
you
of the
think
better
it is?
fighters.
Who do you
I think
think's
Kobe
better?
Covington probably a better wrestler than him, but Usman's a better overall fighter than him. And
Right.
you might be able to say GSP probably was he uses wrestling more, maybe like pure wrestling. I would say Usman's better than GSP. As far as MMA wrestling and mixing his wrestling effectively, I would say GSP is a better wrestler as far as MMA goes. So I don't know if you there. But anyway, with
Right.
Muhammad Usman, yeah, he was not expecting that. But I think it's when he'd be more expecting that from Parker Porter. I think he's gonna be able to snipe him when he's looking for, obvious takedowns and be able to put him out in the first round. Might get a little bit sloppy, might be an ugly fight. I wouldn't be surprised, but I think he gets him out in the first round. And yeah, not the highest confidence, but in this one, I got Junior Tafa via first round TKO. Now over to Nikki Betts.
So yeah, Junior Tafa, man, lost me some money against Mohammed Usman. I bet he was gonna knock him out, and he got grounded and kept there for 15 minutes. His average fight time is 15 minutes because I think that was his debut. Parker Porter's average fight time is 8 minutes, 9 seconds. So I think over 1.5 is safe here. Or if you're feeling lucky, like I see, if he worked on his wrestling because it needs work, I think this is a knockout for Tafa.
Yeah, you might. I think under 1.5 probably the better one for this one because Tafa, if he win, he gonna knock him out. And Parker Porter, if he can get him down, he does have the submission skill. So probably under 1.5 probably won't hit more
Yes,
this one. Cause
it's either gonna be a knockout or fight goes the distance, and you can parlay that with something else, mix and match them because those are pretty um, solid picks. I agree though, but I Parker Porter looks like he can probably handle taking Tafa down. It's if Tafa can get a Sean O'Malley shot on Parker Porter as to whether or not he's going to win. I'm leaning Junior Taffa just because he's known for knockout power and he's wearing 4-ounce gloves. But yeah, over under 1.5 would be a great pick, or fight fight goes to decision, and because that's what I think Parker Porter would get on Junior Taffa. So my official pick is Junior Taffa by knockout. I can't predict what round. And you can parlay that with fight going to decision in another parlay, and I think that you could do Parker Porter inside the fight goes to decision, same game parlay, and you can win double your money with that one.
All right, nice start. Now to our next one, we have in our I said women's, but in our next one, we have in our women's flyweight division, we got Erin Blanchfield versus Talia Santos. So big fight right here. I don't know why this isn't the co-main event. Like the other fights
Right.
are pretty much trash. There ain't really no whole lot of talent on this card, to be honest. So this
No.
fight should be co-main event. Like it should be. It's like disrespectful that it's not co-main event. Like
Yeah, Erin Blanchfield proved herself. So did
yeah, Erin Blanchfield and Talia Santos are they're the elite of their division. Like the rest of the people on this card, nobody in this card is going fighting for no belt outside the main event with Max Holloway. But no one else on this card outside Max Holloway is going to breathe anywhere close to a belt in their career. So this should be this could be a title eliminator their weight class. So it should be co-main event.
Right.
They're being anti-woman, I guess. So yeah, for this one, I got Erin Blanchfield average confidence to beat Talia Santos here. I think Talia Santos is a solid fighter, but I do think Erin Blanchfield matches up with her very well, and also doesn't hurt the fact that she has been active while Talia Santos has not been active. And we haven't been able to see whether Talia Santos will be rusty or not, whether she's evolved, de-evolved, or whatnot. Whereas we have seen Erin Blanchfield get significantly better with each fight. We've seen her, have a little bit of a rough fight with JJ Aldrich, I think she did.
Yeah.
And then went on to dominate Jessica Andrade. So like just in one fight that card, 2 fights after she is involved in. That's what happened. We got these young fighters. I think she's just 25 or just under 25, so very young fighter. And Talia Santos still like pretty younger stuff. I think she's like 28, 29. So 2 young fighters. But Blanchfield's been active. She's been getting significantly better with each fight. I think Santos has more power and more strength and more athleticism. But I think Blanchfield is a superior technician. And I think she can push a pace for 15 minutes where I feel like Talia Santos has to fight in bursts. And also that's not going to help, given the fact she's coming, back after like a 2-year layoff. So I think all the stuff's kind of leaning to Blanchfield. I think she should be able to extend Talia Santos, use her technique to overcome the athletic and power advantage. And also, it doesn't hurt that fact that Talia Santos, even though she has athleticism and this power, she's not really a finisher, whether it be in the grappling or the knockout. She has the power, but she's not typically a person that finishes anyone, whether it be on the ground or on the feet.
Right.
So even despite having all this stuff, I feel like Blanchfield's going it still be like a decision type fight for the most part. And Blanchfield, if anything, probably one more likely to finish the fight. Mm-hmm. But leaning decision here, Blanchfield just the more consistent fighter, the fresher fighter, the more active fighter, and the more technical fighter to be able to prevail over Talia Santos in a decision victory. So in this one, I have Erin Blanchfield via decision. Now for Nikki Betts.
Yeah, man, Erin Blanchfield is on a tear. So is Talia Santos. Her partner Karina Silva impressed me last week when I watched her fight, man. She made me some money by betting on her. I did a 4-leg parlay where I added your bets and then Karina Silva, and I did pretty well. So I'm happy with Talia Santos's team. She's got a solid team around her. She's 19-2. Erin Blanchfield's 11-1. You know what I mean? That's a whole 11 fights more than Erin Blanchfield, but I don't think that that's necessarily a dictating reason why Santos should win. Erin Blanchfield is on like a trajectory like Sean O'Malley was. Nobody saw Sean O'Malley beating Aljamain Sterling. I didn't think it was going to happen, but I like Sugar Sean O'Malley, so I didn't bet against him. I bet the over 1.5, which lost me money. But Erin Blanchfield's average fight time is 9 minutes and 34 seconds. Talia Santos is 14 minutes and 50 seconds. If you're leaning towards decision, I'm going over 1.5 because these 2 women are warriors, and I don't think either one of them are going to get put out there earlier. Like Amanda Lemos versus Weili Zhang, I knew I could have bet over 3.5 and I would have hit because Lemos is just too much of a dog to let Weili take her out of there. But it was a great fight. So I'm leaning Blanchfield with this one. I think she's winning big. Her opportunities are getting bigger. Her fights are getting bigger. I see Santos coming in strong and violent, but I'm going Blanchfield. But I think this is a fight no value because This I think unless you want to bet the over 1.5, Aaron Blanchfield's a very big favorite. Is that correct?
No, she's only like minus 135, so she has very good value right
135? Oh my God.
now.
All
Yeah.
right. So yeah, I'm taking Aaron Blanchfield and I'm gonna bet her straight up and I'm gonna bet her to go over 1.5. So that's my bet.
All right.
Thank you.
Solid. Now to our next one, we have in the one. I'll say women's, but the next one we have in the men's. Well, I'm saying men, but the next fight we have in the bantamweight division, we got Rinya Nakamura versus Fernie Garcia. And I'm going average confidence for Rinya Nakamura. He should win this one. It's like no reason for him to lose this one, especially given the competition that Garcia has lost. Not bad competition, but he lost to two guys that don't have typically the best striking. And Rinya Nakamura don't have the best striking either necessarily. You're not gonna say he's a technical striker. He has power. He's a wrestler. He can defend takedowns. He can take you down, and he gets you with like a big right hand or whatnot. But he's not really a technical striker. So he kind of falls in that same category of people that Fernie Garcia has lost to. So I'm going decision here, but my reason I'm really going average here because I'm just not going to be on this hype train too soon or be like just hyping a guy because he have like this athleticism and
Yeah.
talent.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's not really a fully fleshed out fighter just yet.
Yeah,
And
he needs to be tested. You're right.
yeah, he needs to be tested. So I ain't going hopping on the bandwagon, especially for the value he currently has. Like they got him
No,
at
it's
like he's
ridiculous.
the next John Jones or something. Why the man minus 800 against anyone? It
Right.
don't make no sense.
Like
But
Max Holloway minus 850, that's a fair number.
yeah, he more than deserves that. But this guy
Right.
don't. So
No.
I'm going Rinya Nakamura. I'm gonna say decision victory. Most of the guys he actually finished have been like guys that really
Scrubs.
had limited skill sets. The one time he fought a guy with a well-rounded skill set and some experience and went to a close decision that he could have arguably lost.
Wow.
So I think he beats Fernie Garcia. I think he beats him clean, but I think he'll have to use his wrestling more. He won't just be able to run over him. So yeah, in this one, I got Rinya Nakamura, the better world fighter. He should win this one, but I ain't hopping on the bandwagon just yet. So in this one, I got Rinya Nakamura via decision. Not over to Nikki Betts.
Yeah, Arena, he's got an average fight time of 2 minutes and 6 seconds. So if you go to Caesar Sportsbook, they'll let you bet on the exact minute that the fight ends. And if he's getting guys out of there in 2 minutes, putting $50 down to win $800 because the guy's got a 2 minute record, um, it's pretty awesome. But you look 7-0, who has he beat? Better people than me, better people than a lot of probably good fighters that I've met over time, but um, I think that he's young in the sport, and I think he needs to do a Sean O'Malley and take one fight at a time, build up his resume, and then show the world like Ian Gary did with Neil Magny. You know what I mean? Like he didn't get Neil Magny out of there because ain't nobody getting Neil Magny out of there unless you're putting him unconscious and has he been knocked out?
He's been knocked out on the fighter I know. He's been leg kick TKO by Lorenz Larkin. And most times he just gets submitted. So if you go in there with BJ, like a BJJ Black Belt's going to tap him out every single time. So that's how he loses most times. He gets
Okay.
submitted by Black Belts.
Yeah, so I got Reni in this one. Low confidence in the odds. It's not worth that. Average fight time for Fernie Garcia is 10 minutes 43 seconds. I want to say this one goes inside the distance, but my partner is leaning towards decision, and I think that Fernie's not going to get out there that easy. Once you get to the UFC, it's all premium talent. Is this Rena's this is his debut fight, correct?
I don't know. Did they count that road to UFC? I think it was on the official card, so this is the second fight UFC. So
Second
it
fight.
wasn't like
Okay. Yeah, so he's only fought one person in the UFC, and sometimes they throw you just to catch him fight. Like remember the Chris Munoz versus Sean O'Malley? They needed an opponent for him, and they just threw him in there. Um, that's I don't see that being like this fight. Chris Moutinho versus Sean O'Malley. Fernie Garcia, I see he's no joke when it comes to fighting. Anything can happen. Uh, Rini has 2.818 strikes per minute to Fernie's 8.57 per minute. So I don't know. I see this going inside the distance. I'm gonna just say that. But I think a safer bet because my partner said that this goes to decision would be over 1.5 because both of these fighters are very tough. And unless Rena comes in there and surprises everybody, it's gonna go over 1.5 for sure because they're
I
both
think
tough
most people
fighters.
lean to him destroying him. So
Yeah.
I mean, that's one thing where I probably wouldn't get too focused on the overs
Well,
or unders this one because I feel like either way, like you could be that person that's kind of going with the majority and feel like he's just gonna run through Frank Garcia and then end up going to decision. So like that,
well, you look
yeah.
at the Neil Magny fight. Like, I don't think that that fight should have been stopped, but I wish that fight was stopped because I had money on Ian Gary, but
Mm,
doing inside the distance on one of my bets. So,
mm,
um, just because I parlay things all different types of ways so that I can win money, no matter who wins or who loses, and it was
mm.
just a little extra prop money. But I think maybe a finish early round two for Renia. But if not, I see this going over 1.5. I know that's a little bit wishy-washy with my prediction. I need to give a real prediction. I'm going Renia inside the distance on this one. I know you said
Right.
outside, so I'll go inside.
Yeah. I like that one. A little bit contrast there, and it like no, it's definitely
Well, yeah,
probably
and
the
it
more
gives,
likely outcome too. To be honest.
yeah,
All right, now to our next one. We have in the featherweight division, we got Giga Chikadze versus Alex Caceres. And how I feel about this one right here is I'm going Giga Chikadze, low confidence. No, he's coming off a 2-year layoff. He took a brutal beating from Calvin Cater. Don't know where his mind is at necessarily, but I guess he's back. It's his birthday. He's going to be after this fight, so he got extra motivation to win and whatnot. Caceres is a crafty guy. He's never got to eat. Unless he's just going with such elite competition, it's very hard to pick Alex Caceres fights because he wins fights he shouldn't win. He loses fights he shouldn't lose. He's just one
right.
of those guys that just
I
like
mean,
Michael Johnson,
imagine,
his
yeah,
former tough partner and tough rival. Like they both have been inconsistent over their careers, but they both have managed to have very long UFC careers.
right.
But yeah, he
Because they
definitely has a
beat the
grappling
right
hand.
people and lose to the wrong people.
Yeah, they had that very much in common. But yeah, but this one I think to get to the point, I think Giga Chikadze, well, I think Caceres, he might have some of the tools, but he doesn't have all the tools, so that's where the issue is going to present itself. I feel like he's going to need to pressure Chikadze to make it uncomfortable, then be able to initiate grappling exchanges, but he doesn't really have the power. He doesn't really close distance very well. And Giga Chikadze loves to fight on the outside. He's a sniper, and I think he'll be able to take advantage of that against Caceres, especially Caceres not really having the power or really much to respect necessarily. He is awkward, but the awkwardness I don't feel will be enough. I think pretty much I think Giga Chikadze is going to snipe him, pick him apart, and put him away in the second round. So in this one, I got Giga Chikadze via second round TKO. Now over to Nikki Betts.
Yeah, man, I definitely agree. Giga Jakaze. That's a unique name to say. His average fight time's 12 minutes 52 seconds, which is good for an over 1.5. He's on a great run, great counter striker, like the King said. I see him winning, but Caceres is like nothing to play with. If Giga doesn't come in there and completely dominate, Alex is going to find ways to make the fight competitive. So I think he needs to come out there and like you said, snipe him. Uh, Alex Caceres' average fight time is 11 minutes 49 seconds. I love the over 1.5 because of these guys making it almost 2.5 rounds is their average fight time. Plus, they're still starters because they're very technical fighters. They're coming in there to win, and they're not going to jump on top of you if they get you stuck and you're falling backwards because you just got clipped with a hook or a straight jab or a kick to the chest or a kick to the liver. You know what I mean? Like these guys they'll wait for you to kind of show your weakness and then they'll jump on you. They don't just get in there and fight you every step of the way, whether they stunned you, almost knocked you out. They're gonna very calculated fighters. These are two elite individuals. And for that reason I see the over 1.5. I see Giga winning. I have money on Giga winning, but I wouldn't mind betting on Alex as well. I think the over 1.5 Gege and the over 1.5 Alex would be two good separate parlays that you could introduce with some of the other parlays or some of the other fights on the card. But I recommend you do your own research and you watch these fights for yourself of like Anthony Smith. That's our next fight. You watch tape on these guys and you see that what we're saying is almost exactly what is the case for that fighter in this moment. So, yeah, I recommend you do your own research and look it up and really look in to see who's capable of doing what. Like, who saw Marab beating Peter Young? Was it Peter Young? Yeah,
I saw that
yeah,
happen.
yeah. Peter, he came in and just destroyed Peter Yan. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's just a trajectory an individual is on, and so, yeah, I recommend you watch our videos and you listen and you absorb and you just make your own best judgment because we've been right a lot with our last few videos, and I think we're moving in a great direction to help this community grow.
All right, now to our next one. So you going Chikaze?
Yeah, Jakaze, over 1.5.
All right. Now to our next fight we have in our co-main event, we got Anthony Smith versus Ryan Spann 2 in the light heavyweight division. I'm going Anthony Smith here to beat Ryan Spann again. I don't know why he's such a, well, he's not a big favorite, he's a small favorite. I understand the favoritism for him right now. I don't feel like he's evolved so much. But I could, yeah, I'm not super confident in Anthony Smith, but he should win. I think he's a more technical fighter in every facet of the game. It's just a matter of his mental win there. And if he could have his mental locked in, he looks healthy, he looks motivated, like he's mentally there from what I've seen of him. And so as long as his mental is there, he should win. I feel like he has the shorter shots. And he should be able to take advantage of his Ryan Spann sloppy shots. Typically throw himself off balance, maybe hit him with clean shots on the temple, or hit him with like an elbow, like hit him like an elbow counter or something, catch him coming in, hurt him, then finish him off first round, think like a first round submission or TKO. But I'm leaning like a first round. Matter of fact, I'm leaning first round submission. So in this one, I have Anthony Smith via first round submission. Now over to Nikki Betts.
Yeah, I think that was a beautiful analysis of Anthony Smith. He's a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, right?
I believe so.
Yeah, so he just fought Glover Teixeira in the UFC Fight Pass, proving that he has the ability to bring guys to the ground and submit them. I think Ryan Spann is overall good fighter. Anthony Smith's average fight time is 9 minutes 42 seconds. He's coming off that loss over Johnny Walker, where his leg got torn up from the floor up, man. It was like Chris Weidman by the time he was done. Chris Weidman is going to need another surgery, I hear. Like they already said it. I heard Dana White say it. So can he turn around this quick and beat someone he's already beaten? Yeah, I think it happens. Um, Ryan Spann's average fight time is 4 minutes 34 seconds. Um, there's no quit in Spann. You know, it's not in his vocabulary. I just think that he's a little outmatched. Over 1.5 is my bet. I think uh, Anthony Smith tries to take it slow. He just lost this fight by getting outpointed. Like Johnny Walker just picked him apart, and it was pretty masterful. So I think he's going to take his time with Ryan Spann and not let Ryan Spann just come in for the knockout. So for this one, I got Anthony Smith. But I'll say fight doesn't go to decision. So Anthony Smith fight doesn't go to decision. Official pick.
All right, I like that one. All right, now to our main event, we have in the featherweight division, we got Max Holloway versus Chan Sung Jung or the Korean Zombie. And how I feel about this one right here is I'm going lock confidence Max Holloway to beat Chan Sung Jung. I just feel like what is his path to victory for Chan Sung Jung? Like very little chance he knocks out Holloway. Very little chance he outpoints him, outworks him, out wrestles him, out grapples him. There's very little chance of anything of those things happening to a significant degree to win a fight. Like, his path to victory are very limited. So I'm loving Max Holloway, a lot of confidence. I think he gets him out of there in the third round. I think it's gonna be accumulation of damage. Probably a little bit of a fill out first round, but probably even by the end of that first round, he's gonna just be too fast, too quick for Zombie. And also Zombie already talking about retirement and whatnot. So it's just a lot of stuff just not leaning his way. Like pretty much everything's leaning the opposite way of him. Matter of fact, everything is leaning the opposite way away from him. I guess the only you can say he truly has advantage in his actual punching power. But Holloway has the Hall of Fame chin. I don't think he's been dropped in all these fights he has. Yeah. And I think he has taken more shots than anyone in MMA history. So, well, in UFC history. So his chin's pretty sturdy, given that auto stats and to never be dropped or really even sat down on it. Like I seen him hurt
Yeah,
completely, but
the
even
last
then,
fight was Volk. I think when he got his face just destroyed, proved that
yeah.
he ain't getting
And
him
I
out.
don't think that fight was really visibly rocked. I think the only one I seen him visibly rocked in was the second Poirier fight, and that was because he went up on short notice. He didn't really become a lightweight. He just went up in weight,
Yeah,
and the power was an issue because he
different.
didn't
Yeah,
just no
that's why
he
Dustin
going up in
Poirier
weight.
went up in weight class because he's way better at that weight class. I was sad to see him lose against Justin Gaethje because I like Dustin Poirier. I love Justin Gaethje as well, but I thought that was a lock. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. But yeah, so yeah, Chandler Jung ain't got no path to victory. I think Max Holloway is gonna be too much for him. Pile up the damage, like fill out a little bit first round, then it's go to work second and third round and get him out. Probably the ref just saying he took too much damage and stopping the fight. So in this one, I have Max Holloway via third round TKO. Now to Nikki Betts.
Yeah, I agree. Max Holloway has the clear path to victory in this one. I hate counting out the Korean Zombie because his career is so legendary. I hate to even say that, he's heavily outmatched, and he's an incredible fighter. I Max Holloway's average fight time is 16 minutes and 8 seconds. Korean Zombie's 12 minutes and 2 seconds. So this easily is over 1.5. It's a 5 round fight. I don't think either fighter's getting put out there early. I think Max Holloway can put the Zombie away if he uses his world class boxing and nothing else. I think he just hurts him too much. Um, the only people, like you said, to really test Max was Volk and Dustin Poirier, and like Max Holloway is just he's an elite. If Volk wasn't the champion, Max would be the champion. He beat Yair Rodriguez, which was like an incredible feat because what he's done to everybody else is just like tore him apart, and Volk put a beating on him and put a beating on Max. But Max came back from it. This is his bounce back fight. I don't want to bet against either fighter, so I'm going over 1.5. But Max definitely gets this done. There's no point in betting on minus 850 for Max. So I would go the over 1.5, even if it's like minus 300, because you'll get a good price for that. Better
All right.
than the minus 850.
All right, so that wraps the video up. Gonna drop my um, parlay, the free parlay, the video parlay, the public parlay. And for this week, the parlay will be Max Holloway, that's number one, Rolando Bedoya, and Aaron Blanchfield. Aaron Blanchfield's gonna be like near plus money. She's gonna bring this thing probably like plus 160, I believe. And yeah, so she has a good value on her. And yeah, it's not the easiest fight, but I think the value's good. And also, I feel out of this card, I don't feel like the talent outside of Max Holloway is all that great for this card. So you get probably getting the best value you can get on this card, and you get a pretty trustworthy, talented fighter in Aaron Blanchfield. Definitely a competitive fight, not an easy fight, but at least you're not really trying to put a lot of trust in basically scrubs for the most part. So you put in it with a very, very trustworthy fighter, but average confidence, but good play. The other two are well, one's a lock, the other one's high confidence in Bedoya, high lock Holloway, high confidence Bedoya, average confidence Blanchfield. But I think this matchup, is leaning her way, and I like her in this matchup. So pretty good parlay. Not the safest necessarily, but you can pretty much have put some good trust in this one. Not a locks parlay, but it's a good value parlay. With some people that's probably gonna pull through for you for the most part. So good parlay there. And Nikki, bet you got a parlay, or you got some
Oh
you
yeah,
want
oh
to
yeah.
throw out?
Yeah, I'll do a multiple parlay. Let's start with Giga Jakaze. Let's do Giga inside over 1.5. I'll do that as a parlay. I'll also do Aaron Blanchfield over 1.5. I could see that being an easy win. And then my final parlay, it will be I guess a fifth parlay will be I'll give a couple more. I'll juice this one up. We're trying to build a channel here where you guys can get these bets. We're giving them away for free now so that you know that they work. You know that we're making you money. Um, I I got Max Holloway over 1.5. So those are my official picks. I think you'll hit on every one of those. I know you'll hit on every one of the Kings because he showed you last week that he can pick three fighters that are gonna win. So what the money is on it, we you can look that up and decide for yourself if it's worth it. But I'm betting on both of our picks for this week, and I'll show you guys the results when we win.
All right, that's the video. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Comment below if you want to join the Discord. I'll drop the link below, so join that. And then from there, if you want to look at the premium bets, so you can see every single bet, not just the free ones, then DM me on there or message me on there, and we can get that set up, and you can see all the bets, not just the free ones. And yeah, that's the video. So again, thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and come back for more videos. Peace.